Welcome to my channel. I'm Onyechi Evangeline Chioma, and today I'll be teaching you how to make this trending turban cap. And the material I have here is a scuba fabric and it's stretchy. Then I also have a sequence fabric, but you can make use of any other fabric in place of this sequence. It's just individual dependence. Okay, so let's proceed. It is divided into two, the base and the knots. Okay, so now we're going to make the base first before we proceed to making the knots at the top. So the measurements of my fabric is 26 inches. This is 26 inches. The width, that the length, my head circumference plus 4 inches. Then the width is about 14 inches. Then I also have my band cut out. The measurement is 2.5 inches by 23 inches. Yes, okay, 24 inches. My head circumference plus 1 inch. So now I'm going to fold this band, then attach it to the base. So but before I do that, I would like to notch the midpoint of this fabric. So with my scissors, I'm going to mark the center. It's on fold now, so I'm going to mark the center. Then I also get this other fabric, fold into two, that's the band, then notch. So after that, I'm going to fold it into two. This fabric doesn't have front and back, so you are free to use either parts. So I'm going to fold it into two this way. Then the midpoint is going to touch the other midpoint. Then I stitch. So let me take it to my sewing machine and stitch, okay, from one end to the other. Then I'll get back to you. All right, so I'm done stitching it, and this is what I have. When I flip over to this side, you see. Okay, so I'm going to keep this aside and work on the other part, that is the knots. I have two different fabrics, the scuba fabric and the sequence fabric. Like I said earlier, you can substitute any other fabric in place of this sequence. Okay, so now the measurement I have for this sequence and this other fabric is the length is 13 inches and the width is 10 inches, and I have that in two places, one scuba and one sequence. This aside, then this other one is 14 inches length and the width is 10 inches. So both of them have the same width, 10 inches. The only thing that differs is the length, of which this particular one is 1 inches longer than this other side. Okay, so this one is going to stay at the center. I'm going to join these two fabrics together. I'm going to join it together just like that. Then I'm going to stitch this one to this place just like this. Then after stitching it, I'll flip it over to this side, then join this one to it and stitch. Okay, I'm going to stitch on these two fabric. Okay, so this is serving as a wadding, or rather a foam, because this sequence is not as thick as this scuba fabric. Okay, so let me quickly do that off camera and I'll be right back. So as you can see, I'm done stitching it, and this is what I have, and this is how the back is. So I'm going to cut out this excess fabric here. I'm going to trim it out. I'm going to fold my fabric into two this way, then stitch from one end down to the other end. Then as soon as I'm done, I'll get back to you. So this is it. I'm done making it, and the next thing I have to do now is to turn to reveal the right part. Okay, so I'm going to turn it out just like that. What I'm going to do now is to make the knot. So I'm going to make it by tying it. So this is it. There is no special way to tying the knots. So this is how the knot looks like. You can choose to arrange yours any way you want to. Okay, so now after tying the knot, I'm going to get my base and attach to it. Okay, so now I'm going to make sure that this particular one and this one have the same length. So if it is too much, I'm going to cut it out. Okay, so I'm going to cut out the excess here and there, then we'll proceed. What I have, and I used pin to hold this down. Okay, the two edges. Okay, so I used my pin to hold it down. So I'm going to put the edge together, then stitch. Okay, so I'm starting my stitches from the band. I'll stitch the two edges together, then I'll extend my pleats this way, my stitches this way, then take it up just like that. Then I'll get back to you. Let me quickly do that, then I'll show you the next. So I'm done stitching it, and this is what I have, just like I said earlier. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to gather this part. So make sure you gather after your stitches. It should not come inside the turban cap, okay, so that it will make your work very neat. So and that is why I'm not cutting out this excess allowance. Gather on the allowance, okay. So let me do that off camera and I'll show you. Okay, let me just complete it for those of us that don't know how to gather. Okay, so this is it. You put your needle in and out, in and out. So that's how I'm going to continue doing until I get to the end, and when I get to this part I'll still continue. Okay, so after that I drag my thread. So this is it. Can you see it? So I'm going to drag it, then after dragging it I'll tie the thread. Okay, just like that, then secure it. So the turban cap is almost ready. So this is it. This is how it looks. Okay, so if you want it to stay permanently on your head, then you tack at different parts. Okay, then after that you put these two ends together. That is if you want this place to have sharp edge. You put it together and tack from the back. Okay, you tack from the back, then after that you adjust so that the yellow scuba won't be visible. Then you tack different places. Okay, so that's it about this training. Okay, thank you very much for watching this video. Then if you're yet to subscribe to our channel, please endeavor to subscribe. Then if you find these tutorials helpful, do give it a thumbs up. All right.